Friends, hello, welcome back. Hope it's having a lovely day. MLB The Show 25 coming out soon. Got the gameplay features released, and I tell you what, once again, MLB The Show, they just do it like none other with these feature releases, these gameplay releases. You know, they're spending an hour and a half showing us the gameplay, playing the game, explaining the new stuff they're doing. And once again, some nice things this year. We now have ambush hitting in MLB The Show 25, and I think this is going to be a game changer. A huge game changer, but especially for the average player. You know, if you're good at the game, if you're great at the game, ambush hitting or no ambush, you're cranking a baseball out of the park every time you play anyway, as well as 14 to 15 games, you know. So something like this, I imagine, does not affect the people playing on Hall of Fame, playing on, legendary. That's not going to affect them at all. And, you understand that. That's going to happen when you're that good at the game. But a lot of us, the average player playing on veteran, playing on all-star, you jump into, you see it a lot, especially when you play co-op, where you jump into all-star, and it's a 2 to 4 game or 2 to 3 game. A lot of people have a hard time hitting. Me being one of them. The veteran easy. Something about hitting all-star and 99 overall pitchers, I don't know what it is. But you do, for the most part, know it's difficult to hit that inside fastball, and people love to jam that in there. Now it's like, hey, with the ambush hitting, you can predict which half of the plate you think they're going to pitch you. Is it inside? Is it outside? Just like, real life, where a batter goes up there expecting outside fastball, looking for inside fastball, where you're gearing up. You see a lot of guys do it, where they'll choke up on the bat, preparing for, in that situation. Maybe they're looking for that inside fastball, trying to shorten that swing up a little bit. And we're seeing that in MLB The Show 25, and I like it. And of course, if you don't pick the spot where the ball goes, if you don't pick left side of the plate and it goes to the right side of the plate, or if you do pick a left side and it goes to the right side, I should say, you're going to see your PCI shrink. It's going to go up a couple of difficulties, they said. So maybe you're playing on veteran. Now all of a sudden your PCI shrinks to super, or veteran, would it be legend? I can't think of which one it is now. Which one is which? But if it's all-star, you're going to the highest difficulty, Hall of Fame. If it's rookie, you're going to all-star, so on and so forth. And I love that. I like that a lot, because you still have a chance to hit the ball, but it's a lot more difficult. You get the reward for guessing the side of the plate. You get a little bit more of a bonus. But if you guess the wrong side of the plate, it shrinks it. So it's kind of a little bit of a cat and mouse game. Even as a pitcher, maybe you want to set these guys up, a couple insiders in a row. You're like, wow, this guy's going to just keep jamming the insides. 3 straight batters. He started with an inside fastball. So, hey, we're going to cheat inside fastball. You throw him outside. Adds a little bit more of a challenge there. I would have loved, the one thing I did think about this, first thing that comes to mind is when you help out the offense like this, I would have loved to see something else with the pitching. Maybe a chance to be even more accurate with the pitching. I guess already it is really, I was going to say, a lot of times you can go, you can't, very rarely can you actually put the ball exactly where you aim it. There's always that very slight miss in pitching. But a lot of that's like in real life, but guys can't also dot the corner. So it is hard. I can see why it's difficult for them to come up with a perfection system in that regard. It would have been interesting to see them add something for the pitchers in that regard. I don't believe we've seen too much of that, though, as far as the pitching. I always love that balance. You help the hitting, help the pitching, help the fielding, help everybody across the board, make sure it's balanced in that regard. But we did see some helping in the fielding. As we know, there was a point in time you chose them double diamond players, and they just got to everything. Last year, they changed it for the outfield, made it a little bit more realistic where guys didn't get to everything. This year, doing the same on the infield, where your reaction time means so much, but they don't just get to every single ball. And if you do get to every single ball, you still have to make a more accurate throw than you did in the past. And I love this. I love that they're showing us these charts of what the statistics do. If you're 99 overall, you have 100% great jump. If you're a 75, that drops drastically. You got more of an okay and a good jump. And obviously, if you're a bronze fielder, it goes down even more. So always love seeing how the statistics matter ever so mightily in this game. And they're explaining to us how exactly those statistics work. And as we was talking about, the arm accuracy. Now there's a perfect throw meter where, before you had the red, you had the green meter. Green, you just had to get in the green to make a great throw. Easier to throw guys out, easier to get the assist. And that's the reason they're adding this, is you don't want to have too many assists from the outfield or throwing guys out at third or second than you would see in real life. So you make it even more challenging. You shrink the meter to where now you're kind of aiming for that perfect. If you hit the perfect, you're more than likely going to throw these guys out at third, going to throw them out at home. But they shrink that meter even more. So it's much more difficult to hit. And again, you know, you kind of have, here's the accuracies based on your overalls, and how about the size. There's a big difference in the size of the meter based on your fielding ability, which again, it's super cool that we're able to see how much of an impact the attributes matter, but also to see it is still a challenge even at the highest of high, but you still have a chance to get them out every single time. There's no more pitcher warm-ups. There's had a couple quality of life, I should say, updates to this game, trying to shrink the pause time. I am so happy to hear that they're at least looking into this, because boy, 3 minutes and 30 seconds was way too much. Every single game, the first thing people did was pause the game. They paused the game, they paused the game, they paused the game, and they paused it 2 batters in, and they paused the next, and it just got so frustrating. So a couple things they did, they said you don't have to warm up pitchers anymore, which a lot of people would go into the games, they'd warm up your pitchers right away, save some time there. So that's the reason I was wasting time. It's like, well, if you can remove that, that's going to save you a little bit of time. But even that 3 minutes 30 seconds was always just too much. It just felt like people were in the menus to be in the menus. So they shrinked it down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And if you're playing co-op, that's a team combined minute 30. So every single player doesn't get 1 minute 30. So that is a big upgrade, because at minute 30, I can get behind 1 minute 30. This is a 45-minute game, right? You're in just 45 minutes. There's other games, you know, I think of NHL where it's, hey, you got a 30-second intermission, you got a 30-second intermission. So you get it's a minute pause time essentially. You get your own pause of 30 seconds. Every teammate can have a 30-second pause if they need it. But you know, you get a 30-second pause plus the 2 intermissions. So it comes out to 1 minute 30 for a 20-minute game, 15-20-minute game. This is going to give you 1 minute 30 for 45, which is a good number, I think, because there is downtime between hitting, pitching. You know, it's not always all action. The one thing I thought would have been nice too, they didn't mention, would have been the quick menu stuff where you don't even have to pause it, especially if you're the pitcher. If you pull up the quick menu, I feel like the whole point of the quick menu is, hey, it doesn't pause the game, but especially for like defensive alignments, you're a pitcher, I feel like you get used to it. You should be just quickness thing, just like an on-the-fly adjustments where you push up on the D-pad, you change your defensive strategy, all part of the motion. You have you have what, 10 seconds to the pitch anyway. Then you don't just break the game up with a pause. That can be frustrating as well. I thought that would have been cool if they could somehow incorporate that, where something on a D-pad, just a quick defensive shift thing that takes 2 seconds, you can do it. It counts as part of your time to throw. You know, you have so long to throw before it automatically does it. Would have been cool to see that. We'll see if they work on it more, but 1 minute 30 is going to be a big upgrade. And it's good to see, once again, more depth, more ways to change things up in the gameplay. It is difficult every single year to change too much. I mean, baseball is baseball. Their goal is to make it as realistic as possible. So you can't change everything every year and it remains realistic. So I like what they're doing here. We'll see though. Pretty excited once again for MLB The Show 25. As always, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you consider liking and subscribing. You never have to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.